Enchantment, the official nickname of the state of New Mexico. It can be traced back to a book written in 1906 by Lillian Whiting called The Land of Enchantment, From Pikes Peak to the Pacific. While this phrase was used in the book to describe a large portion of the American Southwest, this name ultimately only stuck around for New Mexico. One visit to the state, and it's easy to see why. From its rich cultural history to its breathtaking landscapes, it's a place like no other on Earth. We've traveled to New Mexico more than any other state outside our own. It's a place that calls us back time and time again. In part 2 of our American Southwest series, we'll share our travels through parts of northern New Mexico, offering a taste of what makes the state magical. We'll take you through some of its wilderness, sites of historical, cultural, and archaeological significance, filming locations, and of course, its enchanting capital city, Santa Fe. Even if you've never been to New Mexico, you may have seen it on the TV series Breaking Bad, filmed primarily in Albuquerque.
Hey, what'd you do to them?
Red phosphorus in the presence of moisture and accelerated by heat yields phosphorus hydride. Phosphine gas. One good whiff and...
What you may not know, however, is that the state has actually been the backdrop for many movies and TV shows throughout the years, showing off a lot more of its beautiful side. New Mexico's diverse landscape lends itself to being a stand-in for many other locations. Long before the film industry came to New Mexico, it has attracted artists of all mediums. One of its most famous painters, Georgia O'Keeffe, lived the last 40 years of her life in New Mexico. She was inspired by the beautiful colors of the unique landscape surrounding Ghost Ranch, where she lived and painted some of her most recognizable work.
It was nice of Stieglitz to let you go to New Mexico every summer.
Well, listen, he didn't let me go, I just went.
Today, much of her art is on display at the Georgia O'Keeffe Museum, located in Santa Fe, just 60 miles southeast of Ghost Ranch. Ghost Ranch is open to the public and makes an excellent day trip, offering several amazing hikes and some of the most incredible views. For those looking to have a multi-day experience, Ghost Ranch also offers guest rooms and camping accommodations, as well as a variety of classes and retreats throughout the year. Ghost Ranch is located off of Highway 84, and a 1.5-mile dirt road leads to the Welcome Center. For our visit, we decided to pay the small fee to access the hiking trails. Ghost Ranch is surrounded by 130 million years of geological history, visible in the layers of multicolored rock formations that tower above. We chose an out-and-back trail that took us along the ridge of the hill that sits at the base of the mesa, providing breathtaking views of the surrounding area. At about 6,500 feet, the temperatures here rarely exceed 90 degrees. After our hike, we drove back down the dirt road leading to the highway. But before leaving Ghost Ranch, we decided to make a pit stop at one of New Mexico's many filming locations. This is one of the cabins used in the 1991 film City Slickers, starring Billy Crystal.
That is the toughest man I've ever seen in my life. see how leathery he was? He was like a saddlebag with eyes.
We've been to Ghost Ranch many times over the years, and it never disappoints. Just up the highway 5 miles from Ghost Ranch is Echo Amphitheater, a large, natural sandstone cliff that has eroded over thousands of years to form a giant natural amphitheater. And true to its name, sound echoes off its walls when standing in front of it. Echo! Echo! To access the base of the amphitheater, it's a short walk along a paved path and up a few steep stairs. It makes a great stop-off when visiting Ghost Ranch or on the way to another destination. New Mexico has endless opportunities for outdoor adventure with varied and picturesque landscapes. From its gorgeous red rocks to vast alpine mountain ranges, all accessible within a couple hours' drive from each other. From our home base in Santa Fe, we visited the Valles Caldera National Preserve for the first time. Located in the Jemez mountain range, this vast open meadowland leading up to the base of the mountains was formed when an explosive volcanic eruption occurred millions of years ago. While these volcanoes have been inactive for a very long time, they are merely dormant and not extinct. The likelihood of another eruption happening anytime soon, however, is quite small. We visited in mid-spring, so there was still a fair amount of snow cover, and even with the sun shining, it was quite chilly. While this area offers an abundance of exceptional hiking and nature-seeking opportunities, our trip to this particular spot was more about getting to see another filming location. If you're familiar with the Netflix TV series Longmire that aired from 2012 until 2017, you might recognize this as the main character's cabin. Even though the story takes place in Wyoming, the entire series was filmed in northern New Mexico. On the day we visited, we nearly had the whole place to ourselves. It's a great location to just sit and soak in the vast and beautiful scenery. We will definitely be back to take advantage of all the great hiking opportunities. In keeping with the theme of visiting different filming locations, we also took a side trip to Las Vegas, New Mexico. It's located an hour east of Santa Fe. Its historic plaza was also used in the Longmire series for the exterior shots of the sheriff's station. The door of the building used for the show still has the Absaroka County Sheriff's Station logo. We wondered if this ever confused visitors unaware of the filming history here. Fans of the TV series still continue to pilgrimage to these filming locations. Las Vegas was also used in the 2007 movie No Country for Old Men. More recently, the TV series Outer Range was also filmed here. Interestingly, Josh Brolin starred in both. But besides being a popular filming location, this historic town has an interesting past. Settled in 1835 as part of the Mexican land grant, it served as a stopover on the Santa Fe Trail. With the arrival of the railroad in the late 1800s, Las Vegas also became a notorious spot for outlaws, including such notable names as Jesse James and Billy the Kid. New Mexico's rich history goes far deeper than the European and American settlements. Long before New Mexico became part of the United States, there was a thriving indigenous population with their own customs and way of life. With the colonization of the Spanish in the 1600s came Christianity, and the beginning of much change and hardship for the native population throughout the Southwest and beyond. The influence and impact that the Spanish had on the indigenous people is evident in various archaeological and historical sites throughout New Mexico. One of those places is Pecos National Historic Park, located just 30 minutes southeast of Santa Fe, near the Sangre de Cristo Mountains. This national park has numerous archaeological sites that show how the ancestral Puebloan people lived before and after Spanish colonization. The park is free to the public and has a relatively easy, self-guided tour starting at the visitor center. We made our way up the path among the juniper and pinyon pine, where the first set of the Pecos Pueblo ruins can be found. Here you can climb down into one of at least 20 kivas in this area. The top of this kiva was reconstructed so you can get an idea of what it was like at one time. It is believed that kivas served as a sacred meeting place, where rituals were performed. The Pecos Pueblo consisted of about 600 rooms, some of which may have stood 4 to 5 stories high. Prior to the arrival of the Spanish, this was a thriving city and a hub for trade with other neighboring tribes. As we walked further up the path to the plaza area, we could see what was left of the Spanish church. What is standing here today is actually the last of 4 Catholic churches built on this site between 1617 and 1717. While the arrival of the Spanish was the first of many challenges for the Pecos people, and this place has since been deserted, they have not vanished. Today, their descendants live at Jemez Pueblo, an hour and a half east of Pecos. While the state is made up of a diverse population and maintains much of its Spanish colonial influence, New Mexico is home to 23 distinct Native American tribes. Their history, culture, and art are very much the heart of the region. If you would like to learn more about the history of New Mexico and its native people, we have linked several websites in the description where you can start. There is so much to do and see in New Mexico that we cannot cover it all in just one video. However, an introduction to the state would not be complete without including its capital city, Santa Fe. The city different, as it has come to be known, sits at nearly 7,200 feet in the Sangre de Cristo foothills and is the oldest capital city in America. It's a town with a lot of personality, a hub for art, culture, and food like no other place in the US. You'll notice the adobe-style buildings that dot the high desert landscape, blending in like natural outcroppings. While adobe-style architecture exists throughout the Southwest, Central Santa Fe has required by law since 1957 that any new construction retain this style. This has most likely helped it to keep its unique historic charm. The interest in keeping Santa Fe authentic has lent itself to the preservation of several of its oldest buildings, some dating back to the 1600s, one of which is San Miguel Chapel, the oldest church in the continental United States. Built in 1610 while New Mexico was under Spanish rule, San Miguel Chapel sits on the south end of town and is still used today for religious services. It has undergone multiple reconstruction and preservation efforts over its 400-year history, yet it still retains some of its original walls and foundation. The historic Santa Fe Plaza and the surrounding area is a great starting point for any first-time visitor of the city. Here you'll find entertainment, shopping, several museums, and a lot of dining options all within walking distance. The plaza is also home to the Palace of the Governors, constructed in 1610 by Pedro de Peralta, the Spanish governor of the region. It is the oldest public building in the United States. Today, the palace is part of the New Mexico History Museum and is open to the public. Besides its historic significance, Under its exterior portico that faces the plaza, Native American artisans display and sell handmade wares, from beautiful jewelry to pottery and textiles. Only Native Americans from the 23 federally recognized tribes, pueblos, or nations located within New Mexico are permitted to use the space. One cannot visit the plaza without noticing or hearing the St. Francis Cathedral that sits one block off the plaza. Built between 1869 and 1886 by Archbishop Lamy, its Romanesque architectural style is in stark contrast to the adobe structures that surround it. When not in use for traditional Catholic Mass, it is open to the public daily. When it comes to staying in Santa Fe, there are many different options. The closer you are to the downtown area, the more likely you'll find accommodations in the traditional pueblo style. One of Santa Fe's most historic and famous hotels, La Fonda, is located at the southeast corner of the plaza. While the hotel, as it appears today, was built in 1922, the first Inn of Santa Fe was built at this location in 1607 by the Spanish, making the land it sits on the oldest hotel corner in America. Even if this luxury hotel is out of your budget, do stop in to dine or stroll through its beautiful interior and gift shop. Besides the intentional preservation of its historic buildings and architectural style, another thing that makes Santa Fe so unique is its food. It's a reflection of its diverse cultural influences, making it like no other. When dining in Santa Fe, or pretty much any town in New Mexico, you'll be hard-pressed to go the entire trip without being asked, red or green? Meaning, would you like red or green peppers on your dish? Both of which being equally spicy. Artists have found their calling in and around Santa Fe for decades. No matter where you turn, you will find amazing works of art to be admired as well as purchased. Canyon Road, located 1.5 miles from the plaza, hosts over 100 art galleries, boutiques, and restaurants, all within a half-mile's distance. There will be no bargains found here, but that shouldn't stop you from appreciating the art both inside and outside the galleries. This video doesn't even scratch the surface of everything there is to see and do in New Mexico. We've traveled here many times over the years and discover something new with each visit. To see more of this beautiful state and other great travel destinations, be sure to subscribe to our channel and follow us on Instagram. Also, don't miss part 3 of our American Southwest series when we take you to Durango, Colorado. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and thank you so much for watching.